What's up guys, welcome back to my channel for another 1/12 scale action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Manipple Studio Superman figure. Now this is unlicensed, so the box doesn't have any logos or any words on it. Actually, it's just very simple. Just got a nice image of Superman floating above the Earth in space with the Manipple Studio logo on both sides. But I really like this packaging. It looks really clean and simple. And getting it open, so this is not what you will receive if you get it. Don't be surprised if it doesn't have the head sculpt. It's not supposed to come with the head sculpt, but it comes with this kind of display stand and all the extra hands. The display stand is actually pretty heavy, and I was surprised when I opened the box and I was like, dang, this is heavy. And here is Superman out of the package along with everything that he comes with, which is just an array of extra hands ranging from fully open to fists and everything in between. And normally I wouldn't do a close-up on the hands, but these are really well detailed, so I thought I'd show you what they look like up close. They've got fingernails and lines on the palms, and all of the hands are very well detailed. They've got vein work, and they're a nice color, and there's a lot of variety. Taking a look at the figure himself, this is not how he comes originally. I have made 3 major changes that I'll go over. Firstly, I have used the Mafex head, and I've added some dry brush to the body, and I've swapped out the cape. So the head sculpt that you're supposed to use on this body is the Mezco scale, but I thought it looked a little bit big, and I just prefer smaller head sculpts in general. I was able to see through these posts on Instagram that the body is about the same size as the Mafex, so that's why I opted for it. But I did have to make some modifications. So this is compatible with the Mezco, and this is the little connector that comes inside the Mafex head sculpt, which is this one right here. And I had to drill out the inside of it. As you can see, it looks kind of gnarly in there, so that it could fit on this neck without having to really squeeze it on there. And then I drilled out the connector to fit on that giant ball peg, and voila, it fits just perfectly. It's almost seamless, so it looks really good, and it retains some articulation. A little more than I was expecting, given how much, this has to be squeezed onto the neck. You can look around, look up, you can look down a little bit. So I'm really pleased with how that looks. It's a little bit too small, I think, but I'll take that over too big any day. Now the second modification was to add all of this silver dry brushing detail. This is not present on the original figure, which kind of makes the original kind of look like he's wearing pajamas. I mean, he does have the muscle detail, and they tried to accentuate it with the chrome underbody, but it's just not quite enough. So I looked at mostly this reference image right here in the middle. This is the J&D sculpture. So that was really helpful to have that image to kind of judge where I should put all the muscles and what their shapes and relative sizes should be. And then also adding those striated rib portions really took it up a notch. So to mix the paint, I just used silver and blue Vallejo model colors, and then really dried off the brush so that it wasn't wet at all, and then added all of these dry brushing details just like that. And then to kind of define the muscles a little bit more and to shape them, I mixed a darker blue and then wetted it a little bit and used a very fine brush to just kind of go through all of the little crevices between the muscles. And that allowed me to get these kind of more defined shapes. And one drawback to this, you can't really see it on camera, but every time I handle this figure now, little metal flakes get on my fingers, and they can get on the head sculpt, and it's kind of a pain. So if I were to do it again, I would mix white and silver to get a light blue rather than use metal paint. Now the third modification was to swap out the cape, and it was very simple thanks to Valhalla Customs. He does amazing work at making wired pleated capes, and it's got wires on the sides and then at the bottom as well, so it's great for posing. And it's made of this really cool, it's like very canvasy but very silky at the same time type of material. Just has a really nice texture and a nice sheen. Then obviously it's got these really nice pleats, and this entire neck section is removable, so it was really easy to swap out the cape. You just pop it off and then disattach the original cape, which is a horrible cape, by the way. And then you can just slide the Valhalla Customs cape in there and then fold the edges and glue it down, and you're good to go. As you can see, it's just folded in there. It's hard to see on this side, which is better. Wish I could push this down a little bit more to hide that, but yeah, from the top, it looks amazing. Really elevates the figure, and I'm really pleased with this cape. I will give Manipple Studio some credit with their original cape though. The only good thing about it was that it was super easy to remove. So for articulation, he can move his arms all the way up like that. He can move them up this way as well, so good flying poses. He's got a bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, and then a wrist swivel and hinge. He also has surprisingly good diaphragm articulation, which is surprising just in comparison to Mezco because they're really bad at that. He can crunch forward quite a bit. And his legs, this one's kind of loose, but it can move up that far. Not super impressive. Has kind of a thigh rotation and then a double jointed knee. And he's got just a single ball peg for the ankle. For some size comparisons, here he is next to the Extreme Toys Cyber Knight. And that Mafex head is looking a little bit small, but not too bad. Here he is next to my custom Captain America, which is on the NW Toys body. And finally, here he is next to the Mezco Spider-Man Homecoming tech suit with a Mafex head sculpt. And that'll wrap up this review. Thank you so much for watching. Check out my other videos. Check me out on Instagram. And if you think this might be the perfect 112 Superman, go ahead and let me know down in the comments. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer those as well. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.